Well, hello everyone, I'm Dr. Stock, and this video is for entertainment purposes only. Today we're taking a look at those darn EVs, and holy cow, did Tesla really lead the way to some pretty awesome momentum in the EV space, and then also XPeng coming out with some news of its own. Lucid has been right there with them. NIO lagging behind a little bit, but I think that its day is coming in the not too distant future, and Li also right in there as well. It was just an incredible day in the market in the first place. I know that there was a lot of excitement over my Discord, and lots of buzz and lots of talk, and most of it centered around a lot of the EV plays that we have. ChargePoint also big in there. So I'm going to focus on EVs in this one, more talking about the price action that they've had and where we can expect the prices to go from here. And so we'll take a look at, well, I'd like to look at XPeng, NIO, and Tesla, since those are my three favorite ones. I'll talk about those, and maybe there'll be time for a small mention about Lucid in there as well, because I think Lucid things are going to be pretty exciting for them moving forward in through the rest of Q4, like the rest of the EV space. So let's move on with that, and let's get ready to rock. Welcome back. For those of you who are interested, down in the description, find the link to my Patreon. By clicking that, going over there and signing up, you can get access to my weekly newsletter, my weekly watch list of stocks, and then also my crypto, dividend, and growth portfolios. And I'll tell you what, all three of them have been doing extremely well, especially crypto and high growth recently. Getting into Q4 here, what a start that we've had, and I think November and December could also be very good for us. As a matter of fact, even through Q1 of 2022, I think that we're going to see continued strength, and we'll have our ups, we'll have our downs, but I think overall we're going to be higher than we are right now with a lot of those high conviction plays that we have. So if you want to hear more of what I have to say and see more of what I have to offer, that link for that Patreon is the place to find it. So go over there, join my community of investors. We'd absolutely love to have you over there. Also, Moomoo and Weeble, click those links, sign up, deposit your cash. You'll get some free stocks. I get free stocks for the referral. It's a way that we win-win. You can cover up your eyeballs, mash around until you find the like button on the screen if you wouldn't mind, please. And then also that subscription button, and ring that notification bell so that you can see anytime that my videos come out. With that said, let's move on to the stocks. All right, so here we're looking at the chart for Lucid, ticker symbol LCID, and you can see we're getting near the tops of these ranges, and well, 30 isn't too far off, and we could definitely see 30 hit if the EV sector continues to move, and we could really break out of that as we watch those deliveries take place for Lucid, and we hear more customers come out and talk about their experiences with Lucid. Overall growth in the EV industry that I think could also be very good. So we have a nice big green candle day on some nice big green volume, and so that was that's pretty incredible for us. If we zoom out so we can see the rise that it had when it was really getting into that momentum that we had before we ever found out that it was official to have that merger between Churchill Capital and Lucid. And then from then we had EV sell-off, tech high growth sell-off, and then all the way since May we actually had a decent run up almost to $30 per share, and then a sell-off all the way down to about $16 per share, so almost losing 50% of its value before the most recent run. And then we failed up around the 27s, we'll call it just below $28 per share, and today bringing us back up on strong momentum in the stock market itself, and then also high growth and EV. It's just been incredible, and so we could actually see some more upward movement from here. We'll see what takes place, and maybe we'll see the mid-20s find as a nice strong area of support for us. It is a very bullish sign that we so strongly on good volume went up over the 200-day simple moving average. Let's move on from there. I want to take a quick stop by Li Auto, and then we'll get to XPeng, NIO, and Tesla. So here, while we're looking at Lucid Motors, you can see the recent price action that it's had and where it's holding off. It's holding off right about the mid-30s. So over here, we did peak just between $36 and $37 per share before we got a sell-off, and then we came back up again to about mid-35, so 35.50-ish, and then sell off again, and then all that FUD through China and everything, lots of sell off. The market itself not really having a great September or anything like that, especially for tech and high growth, and then we've just been on a tear ever since then. So this is actually looking very bullish. The fact that we're up above the 50 and the 200-day moving averages, and you can see the volume build that we have for Lucid Motors as well, and the recovery in China should be a good thing, and Li should also be part of that. Let's move on from there to XPeng. XPeng had an incredible day today. They came out talking about their autonomous vehicles this weekend, and it is going to be driver assisted, that the driver does have to pay attention, but it's not just autonomous driving on the highways, it's also autonomous driving within the cities. So this puts it into better competition with Tesla, so it could compete with some of that market share, and then also having a lot of the cheaper vehicles for EVs in China is also something that makes it very competitive, makes it very accessible to a broader consumer base. So that could be something that really does drive the demand for XPeng. And so this price action, I think, is well warranted. And we can see that I thought that we would come up to maybe mid 40s, maybe we would between mid 40s and 50 by the end of the year, and we've already hit that. So we could have a much stronger rotation into EV than I expected. And honestly, all the positive news coming out for Tesla, I think, is the main driver for this, but then we also have a lot of positive news coming out for XPeng themselves. So we have that happening as well. We could possibly see some of these other prices. If this momentum continues through the rest of Q4, maybe we could be between $50 and $60 per share, assuming that this same excitement that we have, even if we have some near-term profit taking, that it really returns us back up to that trajectory that we've slowly been on, with some dips to the downside on these since all the way back here in March. But you can see for the most part, where these candles come closer together and we don't dip so heavily away from that we do have pretty steady upward movement, and we can see higher lows taking place, and now we have a chance making it back over these previous highs here. We could push on to some higher highs that finally put us back up into this low 50 territory, and then from there we have room all the way up to $60 per share for XPeng. So this is a pretty exciting time going into Q4, as we thought it would be, and so far it's proving to be just that. Let's move on from there to NIO. NIO, you can see, didn't have as exciting of a day as XPeng. It didn't have the same big news, but we do have NIO Day coming up in December. And as we draw close to NIO Day and we watch for those big announcements to come out there, what new vehicles they have for us, how the battery as a service is going for us, what new directions they plan on taking, what all is going on with their expansion into Europe. So these are some really big news pieces that we're waiting on for NIO that haven't quite happened yet. So they had a strong day today, coming up 6%. Doesn't necessarily compare to XPeng's 11% or Tesla's 12%, but still a very good day. And we have room up to about $43 per share. I think it won't be long, and maybe it does take into November as we draw closer to NIO Day, which takes place in December. But I think that we're going to see this back up soon, joining the rest of the ranks in the top EV plays that are out there. So this is one definitely keep an eye on, and we know it's capable of going up over $50 and up over $60 per share, and we just need that momentum to come back. Delivery news is also going to be a big thing that we want to watch. Are they going to set a new record for Q4? How are they navigating through the chip shortage? What sort of demand are we seeing for their vehicles? And I think all of those are going to be very positive news going forward from here, and I think it's going to even strengthen further through 2022 and into 2023, and we're really going to see those growth numbers really just continue to drive as EV continues to grow. NIO, I believe, is going to grow right along with them, and I think that its stock price is really kind of held back right now from what it should be. Finally, let's get to the one that drew a lot of excitement today. Probably the majority of the excitement is Tesla breaking $1,000 per share. And this is something that has been a long time coming. When we watched it go near $900 per share all the way back in January, February, we kind of evened off across the top, and then we had a big sell-off driving us down into the 500s, and since then coming back almost to 2x from what it was. And then driving upwards, a slow, steady climb. You can see the smooth upward channel that we have, and we broke to the upside, breaking up to $1,045 per share, and we did it on really good volume. So this is a really excellent breakout that we have outside of that channel, and will it come back down? I think in the short term, I can see Tesla coming back down. But as we find out more and more good news and more momentum coming out of that, I think that Tesla is going to even climb higher than here, that it's going to continue to set new all-time highs. Given a long enough time horizon, I don't see Tesla fading away. I see it instead growing into its valuation and really reducing some of those high multiples that we see right now for Tesla. There's so much placed on forward fundamental value for Tesla, and more recently an agreement with Hertz is being discussed of 100,000 vehicles ordered, and that was one of the big drivers that we saw today that really kind of is pushing EV out into the limelight. And right now people have questions when they see EV charging show up. Right now there's 2 brand new EV charging stations next to the front parking spaces at the grocery store, and I live in a small town, and people are like, what are they doing there? What are those things? And I'm like, well, they're for charging electric vehicles. And people are like, oh, and even when I say EVs, people outside the stock market don't really, they're like, what do you mean EV? And like, here where we live it a lot, EV means electric vehicle. Outside, when people aren't really there, not everybody's as in tune with those electric vehicles. So I don't think that rapid inflation point that we've hit where EVs really take off, I don't think it's really hit the broader consumer base yet, but I think that it is something that we will see over time, and I think that it's going to happen quickly. So do I think it's going to come back down? What I said in my Discord today is that the gaps like to be filled, and so from here, going from just over $900 to, what do we have here? To the bottom of the candle. Helps if I actually put the cursor over the candle, low of the 944. In the near term, I see this drawing back to about 900 sometime in the near future. I think that would be a short-term move. I think overall this is one that's going to be a grower for us and is going to climb and is going to show us just astronomical success over time. So I don't want to give the impression that I'm bearish. I'm not. I think that this is incredible price action. I think it does a lot to really show what EV is capable of and really kind of bring it back to people's attention. And those of us who have waited for this to come up over 1,000, it's really nice to watch that pay off. If it does happen to pull back to that 900-ish level, I will be adding to my position that I have for Tesla and the EV space overall. I think it's just going to be incredible, that it's going to be fun. ChargePoint, even rallying off of this one, and EV chargers, I think, still have yet to make their name, to make their day. They're ones that I think are still being discounted, but I think they're also ones that are going to be in that next cycle that we have. So I'm definitely keeping my eyes on ChargePoint as well. So let me summarize. XPeng, I think that if we have continued momentum in the EV space, seeing it between $50 and $60, which is definitely up from what I was saying before. At a minimum, it's up to that $50 mark, about 10% higher than what I thought it would end 2021 at. So, but if EV momentum continues, we could see that price action come back. NIO, I think NIO is still, I think it should be in that $50 to $60 range, and if we're really waiting for it to take off, and we're waiting for that big news to happen for NIO, and we could see even higher from there. Maybe we see that return to that $60 mark for the end of 2021, and possibly higher. We'll have to watch. Time will tell for that one. And then Tesla. Tesla is just, to me, they're the champion, that they continue to succeed, they continue to make a name for themselves, that they have a huge following behind them and a passionate following behind them, and the fact that Elon Musk is willing to keep on pushing the envelope and the bleeding edge of what EVs can do and what AI can do for EVs with autonomous driving. I think the best is yet to come for them, and well, we've definitely seen something. So I can't say we ain't seen nothing yet, but we've seen something. I think that there's going to be a lot more to see for Tesla moving forward from here. I'd put a price tag on it, but honestly, what do I even say? $1,500 end of 2022, by some people's standards, that could be very reasonable. By other people's standards, that could be not bullish enough. We're just going to have to wait and see. It really does depend on macroeconomic factors as well. Continued growth for EV is also mixed in there. How much will tapering affect us? Will the market pull back? What happens if we do enter a bear market? Does it make trouble for us if those macroeconomic factors aren't there to really keep this sort of build going? We're just going to have to wait and see. However, I think this valuation, I think over time, to me, Tesla's only a long-term hold, because I think that we are going to continue to see greener and greener days over long-time horizons for Tesla. So that's what I have for today. I hope that you guys enjoyed watching this video. XPeng, check it out. NIO, I think the best is yet to come for them. I think that they still have a lot of growth to show that hasn't quite been priced in yet. I think it's still trading at a discount compared to what other EVs are trading at. Tesla, absolutely incredible. Some of you guys have been following it much longer than I have, and I'll tell you what, I'm impressed. I continue to be impressed, and I'm glad that I do have so much money invested in EVs. Today was a very exciting day, and if you have those positions, I hope that you enjoyed that excitement as well. I know the people in my Discord most definitely did as well. So thank you for stopping by. Really appreciate it. Check out my Patreon. That link is down in the description. We'd absolutely love to have you over there as part of our growing community. Also, we have Moomoo and Webull links are down in the description. Click on those, sign up, deposit your money, and get your free stocks. And thank you for the free stocks. And then like button, eyes wide open, deliberately press that like button. Find the subscribe button and click it, and then ring that notification bell to see any time that my videos come out. I'm Dr. Stock. Thanks for rocking with me. Now go get that money.